Each one of these rolls of paper is about 1,000 pounds. Every hour, we'll go through a complete roll of paper. On the other end will come out about 20,000 ballots. And in any single day, each machine does about 400,000 ballots. We were planning 2 years ago for 2020. So we started planning for this election a long time ago. Here in Phoenix, we mail out all their ballots, the voter votes them, and then when they're mailed back, the county picks them up from the post office, delivers them here to Rumbeck. This is a mail sorter. We use it to process Maricopa's inbound mail. So voters with their ballots in the mail come back here, we process them, validate the barcode. Then the signatures get picture taken of them and sent over to Maricopa County for processing.
This is the interesting story about early voting in Arizona. We've been doing it for over 2.5 decades. A lot of people don't realize since 1996, Arizona was one of the first states that changed from absentee voting to no excuse early voting. You didn't have to have a reason. I was in charge of that, and there was a whole office of 2 in 2007 when they passed the permanent early voting list, as we call PEVL. The numbers grew. Within a year, we had over 600,000. Now we're sitting at 1.85 million of our 2.4 million. Over 76% of our voters are on this PEVL list. Why is ballot by mail safe? Because of the voter registration verification, the testing of the address, the tracking of the ballot, the 100% signature verification, and last but not least, the whole transparency of the voter being able to keep us in check. Do we say in-person voting is not safe and secure? We'll let the voter decide. We will have PPE there. We will do social distancing, physical distancing, 6 foot between each booth that we didn't have to do before. Is ballot by mail the end-all panacea that solves everything? I don't think so either. I think on our end, because we do it well, we want to offer that as an additional option.
We are the second largest voting jurisdiction as far as number of registered voters. We're also larger than 7 states as far as geography. We're also one of the most competitive jurisdictions within the country. We have 2.4 million voters that we need to communicate with in this election to ensure that they are aware of how they can successfully participate. And that doesn't change based on any person's comments or any person's viewpoints. We have gone to being a purple county. So with that comes intense scrutiny and oversight over the process. So we've established a lot of different procedures and protocols. And some of those are simple things as just making sure that voters have access to view our tabulation center on our 24/7, 365-day live video feed. So a voter can at any point in time see what's occurring within that tabulation center. We also make sure that all of our tabulation equipment is not connected to the internet. So we've taken efforts to make sure that all the wiring within the tabulation center that go right from our central count tabulators to the servers is on display. We have our server room that's entirely glass. So a voter can see exactly where the server is and what wires are connected into the server.
How many are you going to do?
About 15,000.
About 15,000 blank sheets.
500 segments.
It really hasn't let up. We had all the elections for Super Tuesday in March, and then a few elections after that, and then we got into the COVID-19 stuff, and we started taking on different states and counties as they adopted to vote by mail. So come this fall, most of the counties and states that we're going to work with have already signed up, and it's almost out of time for anybody to change their mind at this point. It takes so long to get envelopes and get all that coordination down that if you haven't decided to go vote by mail at this point, you've really decided to have an in-person voting experience. The question of, is it possible to submit fraudulent ballots into the mail system? The precision that everybody has to go through, the envelopes, the barcodes that match the voter's address, that match the ballot style, that match the voters, it's virtually impossible for someone to insert ballots into the mail system to overcome all of those obstacles. The right paper that has to be used, the checks and balances to know how many things got mailed from the counties and from us as a vendor. All of those procedures are in place to protect the votes from fraud.